Hello, everybody. This is Charlie Jones along with Lynn Dawson. We're live from Giant Stadium. It's the Oakland Raiders against the New York Giants. The Giants winning the toss. They, of course, will be receiving as Chris Barr will be kicking off for the Oakland Raiders. Beasley Reese is the deep back on the kickoff return for the Giants. He takes it 2 yards deep. He's to the 10. Reese is to the 15. And is decked at the 19-yard line, 21 yards on the return. Rich Martini of the Oakland Raiders is the man who made the tackle. Let's look at the offense for the Giants with the rookie Scott Bruner, the quarterback, Taylor and Perry, the running backs. The receivers are Pittman, Gray, the tight end is Gary Short. And Lynn, that offensive line.
The offensive line is headed by their center, number 56, Jim Black. Defensively for the Oakland Raiders, they employ a 3-4 defense. We're going to see several defensive linemen in the ball game at different times.
Ernest Gray comes wide to the near side. He has 10 touchdowns receiving. The give is to Leon Perry. And Perry goes from the 19 to the 27-yard line. He picks up a quick 8. It'll be second down and 2. Let's look at that Raider defense.
Number 72, Big John Matuzak is the left end. Nose guard is Ken Claw. Dave Browning is the right end, but you'll see different defensive people in there. The linebacking core, they employ a 3-4. Number 83, Ted Hendricks, is having, I think, the best year of his career. And Lester Hayes, number 37, leads all interceptors with 12 on the year so far.
Second down and a couple. Billy Taylor gets the call. He has the first down. 34-yard line, 7 yards. First down as John Matuzak and Burgess Owens make the tackle. So the Giants open up on the ground with Leon Perry and now Billy Taylor.
Number 55, Matt Millen, inside left linebacker. He's the man that's going to come in to try to make the play. He doesn't on that occasion. Now, bear this in mind, in the AFC, Oakland leads defensively against the rush. They've had a problem defending against the pass. Right away, the Giants have gone to work on it.
Billy Taylor, fumble. Scooping it up is Mike Davis, and Davis goes out of bounds. Mike Davis with the fumble recovery for the Oakland Raiders, and we have the first turnover of the ball game. Last week, Oakland forced 4 turnovers, 3 interceptions, and a fumble, and they've got the fumble and excellent field position. Let's look at their offensive backfield as you see the end of the play with Davis picking it up.
Man that jarred that ball loose was 83, the Stork, Ted Hendricks. I'm just talking about what a great year he's having.
New York 33-yard line, first down. And there is Mike Davis. He is their leading tackler for the Oakland Raiders. From Colorado in his 3rd year, number 2 draft choice. First down, Oakland. Mark Van Egan gets the call. And the defense is there, led by the nose tackle, Phil Tabor. We'll give him a yard to the 32. It'll be second down and 9. Jim Plunkett at quarterback with Whittington and Van Egan, the 2 running backs. Wide receivers, and they're excellent, Branch, Chandler, and Chester.
The offensive line is also excellent. Art Shell is not 58, but his number is 78. He's once again an All-Pro.
Second down and 9. Plunkett has pressure, and he is sacked. Martin got it. That is only the 26th sack of the year for the Giants. They have the second fewest in the NFL to the Pittsburgh Steelers, who ironically only have 18.
I think if you're wondering whether the Giants want to play in this football game, this is a very good indication. Number 75, George Martin, going around Henry Lawrence, the offensive right tackle, making the sack on Plunkett. Right now, they've taken them right out of field goal range, so Oakland is going to have to do something on 3rd down to get back in field goal range.
3rd down and 15. No score with the first quarter. 1 turnover. Mike Davis of the Raiders recovering a New York Giant fumble. Plunkett to throw. Pass is high, and it is incomplete. Going to Cliff Branch. So it will be 4th down and 15. The Raiders and the Giants have played only one other time. That was 1973, and they defeated the Giants then.
That last play, that should have been a ball that should have been caught because it was in Cliff Branch's hands. It went right through. It was a little high, but that's the type of pass that you have to be able to catch in the National Football League.
And you talked about the two kickers. First, we will see Ray Guy. He leads the AFC with a 44.1-yard average. He's in the Pro Bowl this year for the 7th time. And an 11-man rush for the Giants. They did not have a defender back. Now they only had 10. They have a late arrival joining them. Going for the corner, and it is out of bounds. Let's see where they mark it. They will mark it out at the 17-yard line. A kick of 22 yards. We've got a timeout. No score. We'll be back in a moment. First down at their own 17-yard line.
Taking a look at the head coaches, Ray Perkins of the Giants on the left, Tom Flores, Oakland on the right. Tom really has done an outstanding job this year with the Oakland Raiders.
Leon Perry. Perry gets 3 yards to the 20. Today's telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the New York Giants and the National Football League is prohibited. Second down and 7. Lynn, you mentioned that in the AFC, Oakland is ranked first against the rush. They are 4th in the NFL against the rush. Again, it'll be third down 7. Go ahead.
It's rather ironic that here they are doing so well against the running game. And last week they gave up 471 yards in the air to Denver and Morton, and they have yet to put the ball in the air this afternoon. One of the reasons I think is because this young quarterback, the rookie quarterback, they want to get him stabilized a little bit before they put the ball in the air.
And the Raiders rank 24th in the National Football League in pass defense. This is a passing formation, slot right side. Giants have not converted that much on third down, only about 35%. Third and 7, here's the first pass.
Whoa,
high and wobbly. Terrible throw. Ernest Ray would have been the closest man to him. What happened?
That looked like there was a kick. You know, it was going end over end out there. I had never seen a pass quite like that. But the men were covered. There wasn't anybody open. I think he was trying to throw it away, but that was a terrible way to do it.
Now we will see Dave Jennings. He is the leading kicker in the NFL. 45.6-yard average. He'll be in the Pro Bowl. Flag is down. Ira Matthews, it bounces off of the head of a New York Giant. That was Beasley Reese, who was down covering it very quickly. And that is called as flags are dropped. Fair catch interference, because you have to allow, if there is a man in the territory, the opportunity to catch the punt. If he's not there, then you can actually catch it yourself and down.
You know, the Giants snapped that ball in a hurry. It didn't look like that they were set for the 1 full second that's necessary before the snap.
Flag was dropped at the line of scrimmage, and the 2 dropped downfield. And so the officials, led by Jerry Seaman, the referee, will be sorting it out. He looked like he was a third base coach, didn't he?
Either that or he's directing traffic at an air terminal.
Boy, I tell you, I hope that his microphone works for an explanation of that. He had offsides, an eligible man downfield, and fair catch interference. That's my guess.
Charlie, you were mentioning about several possibilities in the AFC as to what could take place. New Orleans is leading New England 7-0 first period.
Oh.
Offside 28, kicking team. Interference with the opportunity to catch the kick on number 28 on the kicking team. Offside is declined. First down, the interference is accepted.
You were right about your call, Charlie, but poor Beasley Reese, it was multiple choice on him that time.
It really was. We've got a timeout, and we have no score between the Giants and the Raiders. We'll be back in a moment.
One in a row going right now. They're leading 7-0 in the first period.
Oakland's ball, Giant 41-yard line. Running backs Van Egan and Jensen. Bart Van Egan. He has been the workhorse for the Oakland Raiders. For the last 5 years, he's carried more than 200 times. He gains about 2.5. We'll mark it for 3 to the 38. It'll be second down and 7.
Take a look at the defense. Number 75, George Martin, already has 1 sack on the day. Linebacking core, they employ a 3-4. Number 10, Brad Van Pelt, is a mainstay. He once again has made the Pro Bowl team. The rookie, number 1 draft choice, 36, Mark Haynes, is starting after being on the bench during the middle of the season.
Derek Jensen, a couple of yards to the 36. It'll be 3rd and 5. And Kervin Wyatt, the inside left linebacker for the Giants, is the man who pushed him back.
You know, Oakland did not capitalize on the opportunity they had when they picked up that fumble on the first series by the Giants. You can see, just looking at the enthusiasm that the Giants are displaying, that they have come to play this afternoon. It's the last ball game of the year for them. They're completely out of the playoff picture, but they would like to dampen the hopes of the Oakland Raiders of making it to the playoffs.
3rd down and 5. Raiders converting about 38%. Offsides against the Giants. It's a free down. And the pass is complete to the tight end, Raymond Chester. One of the Giant linemen in the neutral zone, I believe it was Gary Jeter. They'll refuse it. They will take the play.
That's what it was. The right defensive end. Jeter did jump before the ball was snapped. He was in that neutral zone. And you're right about the free play, because
number 70, defense, penalty decline, 1st down.
Regardless of what happens, they can always come back and take that 5-yard penalty. I'm sure that Jeter wanted to get a big jump, because he's going around Art Shell, number 78, and that is no easy chore. You're taking a look right now at number 70, Henry Lawrence, the right offensive tackle.
A gain of 13 on the play and a 1st down, 23-yard line. Arthur Whittington, the speedster, but he is shut down by Kevin Turner. He'll lose a yard to the 24. 2nd down, 11. I am impressed with the Giant defense.
Well, they're playing with enthusiasm out there, and you can see that on the running plays you're getting gang tackling, which is an indication that they are enthused and they want to play and they want to win this football game. They've had a disastrous season. They have had 75 men on their roster.
That's unbelievable.
They had 35 men on injured reserve at one time or another.
We're past the 6-minute mark into the 1st quarter. No score. Plunkett his time. Throws. And it is dropped. Bob Chandler could not be a better pass.
Well, it hit him right in the stomach. The only thing that I can think of, because Chandler is an excellent receiver. He is sure-handed and a big play man for the Oakland Raiders. There is a sunspot on that field, and that's the direction that the ball was thrown. But it was not thrown high. It was thrown low, as you can see right there. It hits him right in the stomach, goes right through him. For Bob Chandler, he's got 10 touchdown receptions on the year, second only to John Jefferson of San Diego. So Chandler is accustomed to making the big play. That time he did not.
3rd down and 11.
He's checking off. I think they're blitzing. Here they come.
Back speeding up the block. Plunkett read it. Looks it, and it is incomplete. Going to Ira Matthews. Tell me about that checkoff.
Well, you can see the defensive backs, the linebackers coming up near the line of scrimmage, trying to time the snap of the ball, and Plunkett read it. You're taking a look at Jeter, number 70, the defensive end. But here you can see a lot of the Giants coming in. The linebackers are blitzing. He doesn't have much time to get rid of the football. He just lays it up in the air. Unfortunately for the Raiders, it was not complete. But you can see the safety, Wolford, number 20, on a safety blitz.
Bad news for the Giants. Brad Van Pelt is out with a bruised arm. He will not return. Chandler to hold. Chris Barr for the 32. A 42-yard field goal attempt. And it barely makes it from 42 yards out. So Chris Barr opens the scoring with the field goal for the Oakland Raiders. Just over 8.5 left to go, 1st quarter. It's a 3-0 ball game. We have more bad news for the New York Giants. Mark Haynes, their number 1 draft choice, starting left cornerback, is out with a bruised knee. He will not return. So already 2 defensive starters are out of the ballgame for the Giants. Barr kicking off. Reese Beatles it at the 1-yard line to the 10, 15. Hit and down at that point. Number 31, Derek Jensen, makes the tackle. So he'll have 15 yards on the return. And the Giants have spent the first quarter at their end of the field.
Yes, they have. They started out very well. First two running plays, they were moving the ball on that Oakland Raider defensive unit, but unfortunately Billy Taylor fumbled the football. But the defense of the Giants really has done, I think, a good job, because they've only given up 3 points so far, and Oakland has had excellent field position in this football game so far.
Scott Bruner, the rookie from Delaware, taken in the 6th round of the draft as the quarterback. Billy Taylor may have a yard to the 16, but that will be it, as Bob Nelson, the inside linebacker on the right side, makes the tackle. 2nd down and 9.
Billy Taylor's been the running back that they've been hoping to gain the big yardage for the Giants, and he's had a couple of good ball games here the last few weeks. Earlier in the year, he had some injury problems. You see him taking a pitch out here, but this is just an excellent open field tackle by the Oakland Raiders. And you can see there 1, 2, 3, 4 Oakland Raider defensive men around that ball carrier.
In the last 2 games, Taylor a total of 197 yards rushing. He gets the call again, and he breaks it to the 29-yard line. He's got the first down. Ted Hendricks makes the tackle. A gain of 14 yards on the play.
And once again, they're moving. Number 83, Ted Hendricks. Now, he is long. It's a good block by the back, and look, he never quits. Hendricks never quit. A lot of linebackers would quit, but he didn't. He eventually came involved in the tackle. He made 14 yards on the play, but the reason why Ted Hendricks is having a great year is because of the great second effort that he displays on every play.
Billy Taylor, 5 carries. He's picked up 28 yards rushing. First down try. They trail 3-0. And it's Taylor again. But this time, Oakland is there. He'll lose a yard on the play. Randy McClanahan in the defense now. It will be 2nd down and 11.
Charlie, that time Oakland was playing the run all the way. Those linebackers were actually up in the line of scrimmage. Now, if they had a play pass on that time, somebody would have been wide open, because the linebackers were playing run first all the way.
Wide to the near side is Ernest Gray. Go ahead.
They're going to force, I think they'll try to take away the run, force this young quarterback to put the ball in the air.
He stays in the ground. Taylor, now he will have to throw. He loses 2 more to the 26. Now let's go to Bryant in New York.
Thank you, Charlie. I want to show you a potentially serious injury.
It will be 3rd down and 13. Bruner will have to throw.
Take a look at this hit by 55 Matt Millen, shooting the hole, coming in, making a good hard stop.
Millen, the rookie from Penn State. It'll be Penn State, Ohio State, the Fiesta Bowl on Friday. Now Bruner to throw. As pressure slips away from the first man, second man gets him, and that is Dave Browning. First sack of the ball game for the Oakland Raiders. The Giant quarterbacks have now been sacked 43 times this year.
83. Ted Hendricks is the first man in there. He gets a hold of this young quarterback right there. Ted Hendricks, he doesn't hold on. Now Browning's coming up to finish off the job on the quarterback sack. But I was saying Ted Hendricks is really having an outstanding year.
Dave Jennings to kick it away. He has a bit of a breeze with him. But here at Giant Stadium, it is enclosed. Not that much of a factor. On field, that was blocked. Hendricks makes the block. Ted Hendricks blocks it. And Oakland has the football. The Raiders with a 3-0 lead will now have the football at the 11-yard line.
Well, I'll tell you, Hendricks is doing everything. Here's a 32-year-old, 12-year veteran coming in. That 6'7" or 6'8" body stretched out, blocks the kick. Oakland once again getting it in excellent field position. Hendricks has caused a fumble. He created a sack. Now he has blocked a punt.
And that is the first punt that Dave Jennings has had blocked this year. 11-yard line of the Giants. Raiders have the football and the lead 3-0. First and 10. Whittington and Van Egan, the running backs, are split. This is the passing formation. But they give to Whittington. 7-yard line, gain of 4, 2nd down 6. George Martin with a tackle. reason that that's a passing formation. It takes the running back a long time to get to the quarterback for the handoff.
Yes, it is. They're trying to grind it in right now. Just take a look at Tom Flores, the head coach of the Oakland Raiders. A touchdown would be very, very big right now for the Oakland Raiders. And for the Giants and that defense that's been hampered already by losing two of its starters, Haynes and Van Pelt, it would be a big plus for them if they could hold them and only give up 3 points.
Kevin Turner and Don Patterson have replaced Van Pelt and Haynes. Whittington.
He'll get in.
He's got it. For Arthur Whittington, that is his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders very quickly are out in front, 9-0, 4:27 left to go first quarter. The Giants have not been out of their end of the field.
I think you can thank Ted Hendricks for the 9 points so far, at least for that last one, because he blocked that punt, gave them the football in excellent field position. And here it is. He was going inside. It's clogged up here. You see he's moved to the outside. Now it is a foot race. And Arthur Whittington is going to win that foot race, getting just into the corner of the end zone for 6 points. He should be carrying the ball in the other arm, though, away from the pressure.
Chris Bryant, who attempted the point after. It is good. The score, the Oakland Raiders 10, the New York Giants nothing, 4:27 left to go. We're the first quarter. We'll be back with the kickoff. Brian, we've got a 10-0 score here, but here are the favorites. The Oakland Raiders are out in front.
You did say there was 100 and some possibilities.
113 variables, and that's one of them. Barr kicking off with Reese, the deep back. Takes it at the 4-yard line. To the 20 and returns to about the 24, maybe the 25. We'll give him 20 yards on the return as Otis McKinney makes the tackle. So New York will try one more time to get out of their end of the field.
And New York has created a lot of problems for themselves. They fumbled the football, and they had a punt block, giving Oakland excellent field position. Once again, the Giants are in a position where they've got to go a long way to score some points. 24-yard line.
They have been going primarily with Billy Taylor on the ground. Scott Bruder sparingly with the pass. He's going to have to throw it now. As protection fires this one, and it's complete, and he has a first down. He goes to Danny Pittman, the rookie from Wyoming. They'll mark it 35-yard line. He has 11 in the first down.
Well, they're going to have to throw the football. In the last series, Oakland just took the running game away from the Giants because they were moving their linebackers up almost in a position where the defensive linemen were lined up.
Mark it for a gain of 10. That was Scott Bruder's first completion of the afternoon. Ernest Gray comes in motion. Billy Taylor. Taylor to the 37-yard line, has 3. It will be second down and 7. 3.5 minutes left to go in the first quarter.
And right now, enjoying a 10-point lead, the Oakland Raiders. For the New York Giants, the young quarterback has just completed 1 pass. He's going to have to put that football in the air if they're going to hope to win this game against the Oakland Raiders. They're not going to do it grinding it out on the ground against Oakland, because Oakland eventually is going to shut that off. They've got a good defensive unit against the running game.
And Billy Taylor already has carried the ball 8 times. He's picked up 28 yards rushing. Second and 7. Bruner complete to the tight end, Gary Shirk. There's a fumble at the end of the play, and the Oakland Raiders have the football. That is the second turnover by the Giants as Rod Martin comes up with it. 2 turnovers plus the block punt.
Well, that time they had a blitz on. The Oakland Raiders, the linebackers coming. Number 55, Matt Millen, right here is blitzing, and the quarterback saw the blitz, and he dumped it off to his tight end, which he's supposed to do. But he really got nailed as soon as he caught that football. Another turnover by the New York Giants. Oakland in excellent field position once again.
The ball at the New York 41-yard line, first down.
3 times in the first quarter alone, the Giants turned that ball over to the Oakland Raiders.
2 fumble recoveries and a block punt. Mark Van Egan. Van Egan goes to the 33. It'll be second down and a couple. Let's check the scoreboard.
Well, there's a very important game for the Browns. Cincinnati leading 3-0 in the first quarter. Another important game for Houston. Minnesota leading 6-3. That's in the first quarter. And how about this one? New Orleans 10, New England nothing, first quarter.
Van Egan, first down. This is the only ball game of the early ball games in which the favorite is leading right now in the first quarter.
Did you notice Van Egan? He wasn't going to give up that football. He had both arms wrapped around that football, making sure that they couldn't pry that ball loose.
A gain of 6 yards. Let's watch Mark Van Egan.
Number 30, Van Egan's carried the ball over 200 times, 5 years in a row. Look at both arms around that football. He's not going to give up that ball. Not going to turn it over to the Giants.
Van Egan 17 yards in 4 carries. First down at the New York 27.
Play pass. Got him open.
Incomplete, Bob Chandler. This one was a little high, but I believe you're right what you said earlier. Chandler's having a problem with the sun, that particular part of the field.
Well, you can take a look on the field down there. You can see right there, the top part of your screen is a lot lighter, and that's because of the sun there. But that ball did take off on Plunkett, and that has been Plunkett's problem here in the last few ball games, that his passes have been sailing on him, which means that he's not getting a good tight release when he's getting rid of that football. Plunkett is 1 for 5 for 13 yards so far in this first quarter.
Second down and 10, Giant 27-yard line. Plunkett to throw. Both backs in the block. It's zone incomplete. Going to Raymond Chester, the tight end. Beasley Reese, an excellent coverage on it.
But it was not a good throw, Charlie. That ball was thrown behind Raymond Chester. He never had an opportunity to come up with the catch.
Now it is cold. The temperature about 20 degrees. Does this affect your throwing?
Well, it's not that bad out there. The only thing that really affects your throwing is the wind conditions. And I'm looking at the flags out here, and the wind doesn't appear to be that bad on the field.
Ira Matthews and Mark Van Egan will now be the running backs. It'll be third down and 10. We look for Plunkett to throw again.
I guess that answers your question whether it's cold here or not, Charlie, looking at the fans in the stands.
Never bothered you, though, did it, right? When you're hot, you're hot.
Blitz.
They pick it up, both backs in. And then Mike Whittington has the sack. That is the second sack of the ball game for the Giants. That is the 46th time this year that an Oakland Raider quarterback has been sacked. That's poor protection.
You can take a look at him. They're coming at the Steve Henry, a defensive back. He is safety blitzing. He doesn't get in, but he's going after them. But you can look right there. There are 4 New York Giant defensive players around Plunkett, the quarterback. I think they've determined this time Plunkett does take some time for his patterns to develop. They're not going to give him that time. If he's going to complete any passes, he's going to have to get rid of it in a hurry.
An attempt of 52 yards. Barr is yet to hit from over 50. 48 is his longest, and this one is 48 yards. He comes up short. He was 4 yards short.
I wonder if they would have
back to the line of scrimmage, which was the 34-yard line, where the New York Giants will take over. And that's probably the best field position they've had to start a drive.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Oakland took that chance. I don't think if they hadn't been ahead 10-0, they would have kicked that field goal.
Next Sunday on NBC Sports, it's the AFC Wild Card Playoff game. As you know, 5 will make it, but there's still 7 in the running, and 2 of the 5 will be in the wild card game. And this year, that wild card game, very special in the AFC, with all the teams are so equal. Play action. Oh, the time in the world. Incomplete. Tom Mulledy in his hands, and he couldn't hold on to it.
You're talking about the weather out here. It doesn't appear that should be any big factor in the ball game, but there have been about 3 passes dropped in the first quarter. That pass should have been caught.
The standings, Oakland misspelled, but they have the lead 10-0, I think. But again, in case you joined us late, and we hope you didn't, because you had a great explanation of everything that was going to take place, and it's hard to really figure it out. But basically, for the Oakland Raiders, if they win today and they lead 10-0, they are in the playoffs. Second down and 10 Giants, thrown 34. Lots of time.
Oh, gee.
They will call it an incomplete pass. What's wrong with it?
That ball is probably like glass because of the cool weather out there. The ball is exposed, and it's like glass because he started his motion forward. Look at here. He's starting his motion forward. The ball just slips completely out of his hand. Now, that is embarrassing, Charlie.
Did you ever have that happen
yes,
to you?
I had it happen to me once when I started my motion forward, and I thought I was throwing downfield. It ended up a defensive end intercepted and ran for a touchdown.
Oh, no.
But here it is. The ball is cold. It's like glass. It slipped right out of Scott's hand.
This is only the rookie's third start, and it is third down and 10.
It's not going to do anything for his confidence either.
He is hit.
Tuzak,
Picked off in the air. The Oakland Raiders have the interception. A flag was down, I believe. Was that Matuzak
Yes.
that picked it off? Yeah.
He didn't know what to do with the ball, Charlie, when he got a hold of it. He didn't follow his blockers because he had Cedric Hartman out in front of him. Take a look at this play. All the time in the world to throw, he pumps, but he got hit right there by Davis, right into the Tuz's stomach.
Face mask against the Oakland Raiders.
Safety blitz, got him. Matuzak makes the catch. Now look at Matuz. He doesn't wait for his blockers. If he didn't wait for his blockers, he'd have walked into the end zone. Wouldn't have made any difference anyway because the Giants get the ball back. Been some strange things that are happening out there with that football.
They really are. And this carries with it an automatic first down.
Is this Halloween?
Face pass, number 73, defense, prior to the pass being intercepted. First down.
Face mask call on Dave Browning. And it's a first down for New York on their own 39-yard line. First penalty against Oakland. Larry Heater and Leon Perry are now the running backs for the Giants. Leon Perry, 43-yard line. He has 4. It'll be second and 6 as Matt Millen makes the tackle.
Good block that time by the right tackle, number 72, Gordon King, pulling out from his tackle position, making a good block on Lester Hayes, the cornerback.
12 seconds and counting. That is the time remaining in the first quarter. And the New York Giants have not been to the 50-yard line.
And they're just going to wait and try to do it in the second quarter.
That is the end of the first quarter. Raiders lead it 10-0. This is Charlie Jones and Lynn Dawson. Let's go back to the football.
Well, a day like today when it's cold, it's not like baseball. You know, in baseball, the officials will rub that ball down so that it isn't brand new. That ball, right, you can take a look, see how shiny it is. That ball is slick. I know I've had a lot of problems myself in the past with holding on to it.
Larry Heater. Heater first down into Oakland Raider territory for the first time. A gain of 14 yards on the play as Mike Davis and Burgess Owens make the tackle. Just inside the Oakland 47-yard line.
Take a look at the statistics in the first quarter. Possession 850 for the Giants, 610 for the Raiders, but the Raiders have been down in the Giant territory the entire first quarter. Really not much in total offense by either ball club.
The Raiders simply did not have that far to go. Bruner to throw. Has pressure. Heads for the sideline. Didn't even bother to get to the sideline. He's learning in his third start, isn't he?
Yeah, but he kept his head up when he did the slide. Better get his head down. He had the heat on him. Oakland does a good job of rushing and putting pressure on the quarterback. Here, taking a look, 83, Hedrick, 72 is Big John Matuzak. Big Ted is in there first. It's really difficult for a back to block him. He flushes the quarterback out of the pocket. Now he goes into his slide routine, but he's exposing his head. Oakland doesn't always stop just because you hit the turf, Charlie. I found that out the hard way.
Second and 13, a loss of 3. Booter to throw. Pass is complete. Larry Heater. Heater to the 42-yard line. He gets 8 yards back. It'll be third down and still 5 to go for the first down. Rod Martin and Bob Nelson make the tackle for the Oakland Raiders.
That was a safe pass for this young quarterback. He was reading the linebacker. Just whatever linebacker, whichever way he went the opposite way to his back. The Oakland Raiders, the only team in the National Football League history to have 16 straight winning seasons.
That is a most impressive statistic. And you can recall the first 4 years that the Raiders would existed. They were terrible. Pass complete to Larry Heater. Right at the first down marker. Let's see where they spot it. Oh, it's going to be about a half-yard shot. I gamble. Go for it. You got nothing to lose.
Absolutely. You're down 10-0. And the biggest thing that you can do this afternoon if you're a New York Giant player is upset the Oakland Raiders. The only way to do that is take some chances, and they're going to.
George Martin comes in, and Tom Mulledy comes in. Now, that is a blocking formation, short yardage for the offense.
Well, a situation like this, you have about a foot to go. You're going to put those 3 big tight ends in the ball game, get the blocking. Should give the ball to the back, let him just bang straight ahead.
If you've got a defensive end, George Martin is a tight end on the right side. Quarterback stick leading, he may not get it. Boy, this will be close. And somebody took a swipe at his head.
The one problem with the quarterback running the quarterback sneak, if it's a foot, it's not a bad call. If it's a yard, I don't think it's that good a call because you really can't generate any speed or momentum when you take the ball from the center. If a man's in the backfield, he's got a 3 or 4 yard run to get to the line of scrimmage and he can leap over for that yardage.
But you've always told me in that situation, go with your
That's
big
right.
man.
Go with this. Go with your strongest runner.
They'll bring the chains out for the measurement.
I think I'll concede it. I think it'll be first down.
12:01, time remaining in the first half. Oakland scoring on a 42-yard field goal by Chris Barr, and Arthur Whittington scooting in from 7 yards out. It is first down.
It's not by how much, it's did you make it. The Giants still have the football.
They made it barely. First down, Oakland 36. Right up the middle is Leon Perry. His momentum will carry to the 25. And the first down, he has 11. As Rod Martin and Mike Davis stop it.
He exploded out of that backfield. That's the best way to go against that 3-4 defense because there are a lot of stunts that are played out there between the linebacker and the defensive lineman. You just go straight at him. If you can break that seam, a good back is in the secondary. Look at that good, strong running by Leon Perry. 4 carries, 24 yards.
Statistics can be deceiving. The Giants have 7 first downs. The Raiders 3. Winners in trouble. He'll sacked at the 30-yard line.
We had both backs going opposite directions on a pitch out, but I do believe that Leon Perry should have been going to his left and not to his right. That's a strange feeling to turn around, Charlie, and go to pitch the ball out, and there's no one to pitch it to.
He gets lonely in a hurry. Loss of 5, second 15.
If I wanted the ball, I'd have called my own number. I don't want it. But he's young and strong.
6'5", 200 pounds. Division II Player of the Year last year. Incomplete. Crowd wanted a flag. Gary Shirk, the tight end, wanted a flag. They do not get it. It'll be 3rd and 15 at the 30.
Young quarterback is telegraphing who he's throwing that football to. He followed that tight end all the way. When you do that, that's going to tell the defensive backs where you're going to throw the ball, and you're going to get a crowd around there.
Now they are already within the field goal range of Joe Danello, whose long is 57 yards. Bruner now 50%, 4 of 8 for 31 yards. They're down 15. Peter in motion. Looping it into the corner. Incomplete and almost intercepted. Ernest Gray, the intended receiver, and Lester Hayes had perfect position.
Yes, Lester Hayes leads the National Football League with 12 interceptions. He's going up top. You can take a look at the top of your screen. 37 in the black, Lester Hayes. 83 is Ernest Gray. The ball is up in the air, and that sun, I think, got to Lester Hayes because it looked like he really couldn't locate that football, Charlie, because that is the sunspot area over there.
And the NFL record for interceptions held by Dick Night Train Lane is 14. Hayes, by the way, has had 3 callbacks due to penalties. Here's Danello, 37-yard line, a 47-yard attempt, well within his range.
Got the leg.
He's got it, 47 yards out. So with 10 minutes and 26 seconds left to go in the first half, Joe Danello converts from 47 yards away. Joe Danello has now hit 11 of his last 12 field goal attempts and 13 of his last 15.
You know, you don't have to be large. I guess it's like golf to be very successful. He's only 5'9" and 165 pounds.
And he kicks off. It is high and short. And taking it at the 15-yard line is Keith Moody. Moody to the 20 is 5 yards on the return. Myron Lapka makes the tackle. So Oakland now with their worst field position of the game, their own 20-yard line.
The defense didn't turn the ball over to the Oakland Raiders. Now they're going to have to move the football almost 80 yards to get into the end zone.
And Plunkett is not off to an auspicious start. Only 1 of 6 for 13 yards.
Yeah, and a couple. Well, there's one pass that was dropped. Chandler did drop one that should have been caught, but there's a couple that have sailed on it.
Second quarter, 10-16 left to go in the half. Raiders lead by 7. Plunkett to throw. This one is right there to Bob Chandler. And Chandler is out of bounds at the 32-yard line. He's got the first down. Don Patterson, who's replaced Mark Hayes, who's out with a bruised knee at left corner, is the man who got it.
And that's the man that they should work on. 85, Bob Chandler, making his, I believe, his first reception, Charlie. He did drop one earlier. This is just a little hitch pattern. You go down about 6 yards, turn to the quarterback, make the catch. Doesn't look like much, but it ends up a first down. And they're working on that young quarterback, number 21, Don Patterson.
Bob Chandler and Ernest Gray of the Giants, both with 10 touchdown receptions. Van Egan. First down. 46-yard line. He gains 14 on the play.
Doesn't surprise anybody, I don't believe, to be moving to the left side of the Oakland offensive line. Number 78, Art Shell, Gene Upshaw on that side. You can see right there. Good hole for Van Egan to go through. Right 88 is Chester coming down and making a block. Casper's no longer there. He's in Houston.
Let's mark it the 45-yard line. Plunkett far side, pull down. Cliff Branch. Boy, the Raiders moving that offense very quickly and very efficiently.
That time he went over to that side of the field where the sun is hitting it, but it wasn't a problem because he wasn't looking into the sun. And a little while later, I think that will all be gone. There won't be any problem being able to locate the football because of the sun.
Second down, about 1.5 yards to go for the first down.
Take a look at the top part of your screen is what I'm talking about. Cliff Branch is out there in the sun.
Whittington picks up the first down. Let's go to Brian Gumbel. We'll get an update on everything else that's going on in the NFL. Brian?
Thank you, Charlie.
Comeback trail.
I think how things change in a hurry.
They do, don't they? Giant 44-yard line, first down. Branch, the speedster in motion. Play action. Pressure screen. Incomplete to Van Egan. And he was getting pressure from Gary Jeter.
Gary Jeter was running around big Art Shell, number 78, put the heat on. That was a screen pass. Plunkett did not want to have to get rid of that football as quickly as he did, but it was a good job by that man right there, number 70, Gary Jeter.
And a flag dropped at the 42-yard line. It is against the Oakland Raiders.
He went right by Art Shell.
I believe an ineligible receiver downfield was a preliminary signal. 8 minutes and 28 seconds left to go, second quarter. Raiders scoring their 10 points in the first quarter. Their Giants, their 3 on Danello's 47-yard field goal in the second quarter.
Ineligible downfield, number 50 on the offense.
That's the center, Dave Dalby.
Indicates it's a screen pass, Charlie, because the center is always involved in blocking on the screen.
In penalties, the Giants 1 for 5 yards, Raiders 2 for 25. And it's first down and 20 at the Oakland 46-yard line. Whittington just across the 50. Giants claim a fumble. Officials say the play had been blown dead. Call it the New York 49 and give him 5. It'll be second down and 15. Whittington now in 5 carries has 19 yards and a touchdown, his 4th of the year. Cliff Branch goes wide to the far side. Chandler wide to the near side. Just to the tight end in motion. Flag is down. They did not have enough men on the line of scrimmage. Van Eeghen catches the pass at the 45. But you have to have 7 men on the line of scrimmage. I believe they were 1 short, if I counted right.
They had Chester in motion that time.
And
a lot more of that.
Wide receivers were playing, too. Let's see. Well, like I said, it looks to me as if the Giants were offside.
That's right. They had too many men across the line of scrimmage. A lot of times when the man is in motion, if he is not going parallel to the line of scrimmage or backwards, they hedge a little bit just as the ball is snapped to go forward, and that is illegal.
They'll take the penalty. They gain about 4. The penalty's 5, and they get the down over. Everybody knows that. Gene Upshaw says, yeah, take the penalty. For Gene Upshaw, this marks the 202nd consecutive game that he has started. Here's the call.
Encroachment, lining up offside, number 70 on the defense.
Jeter thought he did such a good job the time before that he just edges way up there again. You know, you talked about Upshaw. This is his 202nd?
202nd start.
Well, I know he started out. It was against the Kansas City Chiefs where it all started for him. You know, in a preseason game. We beat him something like 49-0. My, how things have changed.
You remember those numbers, don't you? All right. Plunkett.
All day.
Boy, is time. Pass is complete. Bob Chandler steps out, first down. Chandler knew exactly where he was in relationship to the first down marker.
That time, the sun was not in Bob Chandler's eyes. As you can see, he's out on the right flank. Plunkett's going to have all day to throw this football. Chandler is a wise receiver. He knows that his quarterback is in trouble. Now he sees it. He's going to go to the open spot. And he knows exactly, as you say, where he is because he makes the reception, gets both feet down inbound.
Chandler, 2 receptions, 23 yards today. He averaged 23 yards a catch last week. First down at the Giants 33. Van Eeghen. And Mark will get a yard on the play. It'll be second and 9. Irvin Wyatt makes the tackle. Derek Jensen and Mark Van Eeghen are now the running back. In addition to this drive for the Raiders, which started at the 20-yard line, using up a lot of time on the clock.
Well, that's to the Raiders' advantage. Even if they don't get any points, the The ball is going to be down on this end of the field, and the Giants got a long way to go to get any points.
And also that means that the Giant offense on a cold day has been standing on the sideline. Second and 9.
Their young quarterback.
Jensen in motion. Plunkett to throw. He overthrows his tight end Raymond Chester. Now let's go to Brian Gumbel in New York. We'll have an update of everything that's happening in the NFL in the playoff race.
Okay, Charlie, as the race pertains to the Cleveland Browns, it's not going well. This is Jack Thompson of the Bengals scampering in from 13 yards out. That gives the Bengals a 10-0 lead in the second period. Should the Browns lose, the Oilers would be champions of the AFC Central no matter what happens. Charlie?
And Lynn, I wonder if that last second catch of Ahmad Rashad last week that we saw is still on the minds of the Cleveland Browns.
Well, that really hurt their chances because they could have wrapped it up a week ago.
Third down and 9. The Raiders have converted only 1 of 4 third down opportunities. Both backs in the block. 3 receivers out deep. He's open. It's there. Passes complete. Will be a touchdown. Into the end zone is Cliff Grant. He was all alone. 7th touchdown of the year for Grant. Play covering 31 yards officially.
Plunkett had been throwing some balls that were taking off on him. This time he drilled it to Branch going up the left sidelines. The heat is coming on. Didn't take a whole lot of time to get rid of that football, but wide open is Cliff Branch. Somebody had to have a mix-up back there in the secondary for the New York Giants, because you don't let a man get that wide open.
So the Raiders pad their lead. It goes to 16-3. Extra point upcoming. Chandler to hold and Chris Farr to again. It is good. It is now the Oakland Raiders 17. The New York Giants 3 with 6:29 left to go in the first half. 79-yard drive in 9 plays. Chris Farr will be kicking off. Beasley Reese is the deep back on the return. Fielded at the 6-yard line. Good return. 37-yard line, a return of 31 yards. Rich Martini makes the tackle. As we pause briefly for station identification, this is the NBC television network.
Advice for would-be dieters on Fight Back, 7:30 Monday night on KNBC Los Angeles.
This is Charlie Jones, Lynn Dawson. The Oakland Raiders, the New York Giants. 6:18 time remaining in the first half. The Raiders lead by 14 points. The Giants go to work from their own 37-yard line. Quarterback is the rookie Scott Bruner. Billy Taylor gets the call. And he is decked as he goes out of bounds by Mike Davis.
He looked like he was going into orbit. He really got nailed on the sidelines by Davis. 38, Billy Taylor going to the right side. He's going to leave his feet here, which is going to be a mistake because the timing is going to be excellent by Taylor, the safety, right there.
That was Taylor's 9th carry, his 33 yards rushing. It is 2nd down and 4. Danny Pittman goes wide to the far side. Ernest Gray wide to the near side. Second back is Taylor. Close to the first down. I believe he's got it. They will mark it a gain of 5. To the 48, it is a first down. Thus far, Billy Taylor has been the most effective offensive weapon for the Giants.
He's a good runner, Charlie. Big enough and strong enough. Without the holes out there, without the offensive lineman to open up a few cavities out there, it's very difficult to run. All right, Minnesota leading Houston 13-3 in the second quarter.
Turn it into a 69-yard touchdown, but he is driven out of bounds at the 19-yard line. 13
his eyes this time. Number 37, Lester Hayes. Danny Pittman was going up top, and he let him go. The ball hits Lester Hayes right in the stomach. It looked like that the quarterback was going for 38, Billy Taylor, but it was a poorly thrown football. Lester Hayes almost takes this all the way back. You can see that Davis is encouraging him to come on. Quarterback gets involved in the play. 82 is Danny Pittman finally bringing him down. 44-yard return by Lester Hayes. He now has 13, Charlie, and I think that's one away from the NFL record.
Night Train Lane set the record of 14. 19-yard line of the Giants' first down. Van Egan and Jensen, the two running backs, and Van Egan gets the call. He has 5 yards to the 14-yard line. Turner makes the tackle. Now let's join Brian Gumbel.
Okay, Charlie.
Thank you, Brian. That is good news. 2nd and 5 at the 14-yard line. Jensen, and Derek has a yard. It'll be 3rd down and 4. Derek Jensen is in his 2nd year. He was a 3rd-round draft choice in '78. Really hasn't carried that much. 24 yards rushing and 87 yards receiving coming into the game. Collegiate ball, University of Texas, Arlington campus, midway between Dallas and Fort Worth.
And he's coming out of the ball game now.
3rd down and 4. Replaced by Ira Matthews.
Third and 4 generally is a passing situation for Oakland.
Both backs in the block. Plunkett tied. Holding will be called. The pass, I believe Plunkett really was throwing it away.
Yeah, he was, and I
Chandler,
don't understand it because he had Matthews wide open in the left flat.
And he had a flag in the left flat, but he also had a holding flag. Go ahead.
But he had 2 men open, and he decided to get rid of the football. He didn't see him, evidently, or he'd have thrown the football to the guy that was open. But he didn't want to take a chance of a loss there. He just threw it out of the end zone. But the Raiders are moving back.
It would have been 4th and 4 if the penalty is refused at 3rd down 14, and they are still in field goal range.
Yes. A little more difficult.
Holding number 71 on the offense.
Holding on Lindsey Mason, who has replaced Art Shell. Shell is right now in the locker room being x-rayed. Has a problem with his little finger.
As big as he is, the little finger shouldn't bother Art.
You know it hurts so. Oh, you know it hurts. 23-yard line, 3rd down 14. Oakland has converted only 1 of 6 3rd down. Screen left side, Whittington. 20-yard line. He gains only 3 on the play. And it will be 4th down. And Chris Byer will come in with his 2nd field goal attempt. He's hit from 42 yards away.
That back cut to the inside. Upshaw and Dalby both had good blocks out there for the Oakland Raiders. But the back elected to go to the inside where all the traffic was.
He'll be kicking from about the 27-yard line. So it will be an attempt at 37 yards. Bob Chandler will be holding. No, move it back a yard. Attempt of 38 yards. Chris Byers' longest this year is 48 yards. He's been in a bit of a slump. 4 of 11 coming into this ballgame. But now he is 2 for 2 of 42 and 38 yards. And the Oakland Raiders now lead the New York Giants by a score of 20-3. Minutes and 52 seconds left to go in the first half. Raiders on top by 17. And remember, a win here, they are assured of being in the playoff. Their future tied to that game tomorrow night between Pittsburgh and San Diego. Terrible kick. And a scramble for it at the 33-yard line. Did Barr miss it, or was he just trying to?
He was trying to kick it that way. 2 minutes and 52 seconds remaining in the ball game. He didn't want to kick it deep. And it almost turned out in Oakland's favor because they had men down there around that football. They didn't get it. They came very close to getting it. What's Bruner done so far? 4 for 10 for 31 yards and an interception. That was a big interception. Lester Hayes is 13th of the season, running it back 44 yards. I think his confidence is really shaky out there right now, Charlie.
Giants from their own 32-yard line. Billy Taylor. Couple of yards. It'll be second down and 8. Now Bruner on the year. Of course, he hasn't played that much, but has only been hitting 44% of his passes.
Well, you know, when he dropped that football back in the first quarter, I believe. Look at there. New England now is on top of New Orleans 17-10. When he dropped that football, that does a lot to shake your confidence. And then that interception didn't help either.
First back is Leon Perry. 36-yard line. It'll be third down and around 6. Now, Bruner is not calling his own play, but the play selection is not very creative.
Well, it isn't because they're fearful of what he's going to do out there. He hasn't had much success. I think they're fearful that he could be completely destroyed if he doesn't get something going.
2-minute warning. We'll be back in a moment. How cold is it? They'll give you an idea. 2-minute warning. Some people have said, why is it called a 2-minute warning? I don't understand. Both benches are warned of rule changes that take place in the last 2 minutes of each half. The one that you notice more than anything else is that on a kickoff in the last 2 minutes of each half, the clock does not start until the ball has been touched in the field of play. There are a couple of other ones. You cannot buy the extra timeout for an injury and a couple of other ones. That's the one that you notice, though. That's the reason it's called a 2-minute warning. Third down and 6.
Oakland is going to warn this quarterback. They may go after him.
Pass is complete. That's only the second time the Giants have converted on a third down, and there's a flag on a play.
Now that was a good throw by that young quarterback because he stepped and fired that ball and hit his receivers right in the numbers. The only one around there was the receiver against Oakland.
The play will stand since it was past the
Illegal
penalty.
contact. Number 23 on the defense. Penalty decline. First down.
First down at the Oakland 49-yard line. With the penalty, with the flag, the clock is stopped. 1:51 left to go in the first half. So let's see if the Giants can get something going here. It would be a big lift going in the locker room.
It really would. I think Oakland may go out and try to blitz this young quarterback, try to destroy his confidence. No blitz.
Come with 3 men. He's got time. Pass is complete. Out of the backfield is Leon Perry. And a flag is dropped. 41-yard line face mask, we believe, will be the call.
Well, you can tell that this young back is tough because he was really nailed by Nelson and did not come down. Bruner, the quarterback, going back, looking. 3-man rush, plenty of time for him. His vision is good. Nobody in front of him.
There was no infraction.
Makes a good hit. See, there was a great hit there by Nelson, 51, but he did not go down. The officials now say no infraction.
Gain of 8. It'll be second down and 2. The Giants take a timeout. They will have 2 remaining. We thought we caught a face mask. No, you know, he may be underneath. You can hook the shoulder pads right underneath the chin, and it looks like a face mask.
You're trying to choke him.
That's a choking call. We've got a timeout. And we'll be back with 1:38 left to go in the first half. .138 left to go in the first half. Lovely Giants fan. The ball at the Oakland 41-yard line. New York, 2 timeouts remaining. And that's the magic number. It is second down and 2.
Plenty of time. The Giants have plenty of time to get on the board. 1:38 remaining in this half.
Bo Matthews goes in motion. 2 tight end offense. Pass is complete to Matthews. And he was alone on the far side. First down inside the 29-yard line, steps out, stops the clock, gain of 13.
Well, he was alone because the quarterback had all day to look back there. He pumped the ball, and when that happened, the defense relaxed a little bit, and they forgot about Matthews out on the sideline. They were just giving him a lot of room in front. Good play by this young quarterback coming back to Matthews on the sideline.
Giants started this drive on their own 32-yard line. And they are within field goal range of Danilo. So they've got some room to play with here. 1:29 on the clock. First down. This one is dropped off to Billy Taylor. And Taylor is dropped after a gain of a yard, but a flag goes down at the 40. It will be roughing the passer, and that will cost the Raiders, and it will carry with it the automatic first down.
Yeah, number 73, Dave Browning, the defensive end, is really arguing with the officials, and he better stay away from the men in the striped shirts because he does not want to touch them.
So the Giants get a break here now with 1:20 left to go. Oakland 4 penalties, 40 yards. The Giants 2 for 20.
And more importantly, too, or one of the important thing is, it stopped the clock, did not charge the Giants with the timeout. There's 1:20 remaining in the half.
Roughing the passer, number 73, defense, first down.
Dave Browning, first down at the 14-yard line. That carries 15 yards. Play goes wide to the far side, Pittman near side.
They can do most anything with 2 timeouts remaining right now, 1:20. They can run or pass. They don't have to be concerned about the clock right now.
Leon Barrett, 3 yards to the 11. It'll be second down and 7.
They ought to do something, though.
1:10 and counting. Clock continues to move. Giants not very quick coming back to the huddle.
Well, I don't understand that. You either have 2 plays called because they had a timeout. That's less than 1 minute to go. The timeout, or the time really wasn't critical with 1:20 to go. But it's starting to get critical. Now here they're going to call timeout. There was
They lost 20 seconds.
There was 1:20 remaining before that play started. There's now 50 seconds on the clock.
A giant mistake. We'll be back in a moment. The preceding announcement was furnished as a public service for the National Football League. Second down and 7 at the 11-yard line. 2 receivers coming to the near side, so Lester Hayes changes sides to join him. Hayes with 13 interceptions on the year. In the corner, there, touchdown, Leon Perry. Perry's second touchdown of the year. Bruner's 4th touchdown pass, and the Giants' first touchdown of the ballgame.
That was an excellent throw by this young quarterback because he drilled it in there. Bear in mind, number 83, Ted Hendricks, is out in that area. He's 6 feet 7 inches tall. Gets up in the air just over his outstretched arms. Into the fullback's hands for a touchdown. That's really a big score for the Giants.
A 68-yard drive in 8 plays. 45 seconds left to go in the half. Extra point is good. It is now Oakland 20 and the New York Giants 10. And that's a big lift emotionally.
Oh, it surely is, particularly with that young quarterback who's had some problems in the first half. Dropped the ball on one occasion, threw a terrible pass that was intercepted by Lester Hayes, but they now have 10 points on the board, and they can win it at halftime and build from that. They got something to build on. They can say, hey, we did move the ball on this football team. We can score.
An 11-yard touchdown pass. Bruner now has completed 9 of 15 for 77 yards. 1 touchdown pass and an interception. Next Sunday on NBC Sports, it's the AFC Wild Card Playoff game. 7 teams still have a chance to make it, but 2 will fall by the wayside. 5 will be in the playoffs in the AFC, and 2 will be wild cards. NBC Sports will be there to cover the action. Join NFL 80 and host Brian Gumbel for an inside look at the game, and then sit back and enjoy the Conference of Champions, the American Football Conference. as NBC Sports carries you all the way to the Super Bowl on January the 25th in New Orleans. Onside kick.
I don't think that they will. I think they'll kick it deep.
Byron Matthews is all alone deep.
Oakland just isn't taking a chance, that's all.
Oh, he's just trying to punch it over the first line.
Yeah, get that clock going.
Keith Moody picks it up at the 30. He's to the 35. Now to the 40-yard line. The clock will now stop on the change of possession. But you're right. Touch to the field of play, that's when the clock starts on a kickoff.
Look where they are. They're at the 40-yard line. I wouldn't do that. I would have kicked it deep because there was no wedge back there, so the receiver, the return man, was not going to get any help when he made the catch because they had all the hands people up here, people who are accustomed to handling the football, and they aren't the blockers. I'd have kicked that thing deep because he really wasn't trying an onside kick.
Oakland at their own 40-yard line. Plunkett has completed 5 of 12. Touchdown pass to Cliff Branch, and the Raiders have 3 timeouts remaining. 37 seconds left to go in the half. Pass complete, out of bounds. Bob Chandler stops the clock just inside the New York 47. Gate of 13. And Plunkett is very slow getting up.
Take a look.
Gary Jeter was very slow getting up, too.
Take a look at Bob Chandler. They're giving him a lot of room out there. Good throw by Plunkett. He was open. Also, Cliff Branch was open on that last play.
Plunkett wants a timeout.
He's hurting.
He is hurting. He started to limp to the sideline, then realized the clock had been stopped because Chandler stepped out of bounds. He took the timeout. He now has 2 remaining. I am so happy for this man.
Yes, and he's
really he's one of the really class people of the world. Heisman Trophy winner at Stanford, and he had the great years early, and then, you know, he has been to the penthouse and has spent some time in the basement.
Well, you know, when
he's on the elevator going back up.
He was with New England with the Patriots. They didn't have a very good football team, and he used to get beat up quite frequently. And I can recall he had a shoulder problem, and then they put him back in. I think one of the first times they put him back in, they had an option that he was down the line of scrimmage. I forget who was the coach, and they nailed him, and he was out again. He went through a lot of pain. Now here is Mark Wilson out of Brigham Young, and that school produces some outstanding quarterbacks.
They have got another one, a junior. Did you see the Holiday Bowl on Friday night? Young Jim McMahon. 31 seconds. Boy, that Holiday Bowl is exciting in San Diego. Plunkett was throwing, remember, to Randy Vataha. He was one of the 7 dwarfs in distance.
That was before my time, Charlie.
But I remember all of those.
Yes, I do remember.
Mark Wilson has completed only 1 of 2 passes this year. He's thrown only twice. This is 3rd pass of the year. And it's on target. Good defensive play, keeping Chandler inbound. Oakland will take the timeout. That is not a bad pass. It's cold on the sideline. He warmed up for what, about 38 seconds? It came right in.
Harry Coyle, our director, has been giving us shots of how cold it is around here, and that young Mark Wilson's been standing on the sidelines, and you don't get warm standing down there. That time he threw a good pass to the sidelines to Bob Chandler, who does that exceptionally well. They're really giving Chandler a lot of room on the sidelines. That really helps the confidence of this young quarterback. Here he is, number 6, Mark Wilson, going back. I believe you said it's his 3rd throw of the year.
Right. First pass of the game, 12 yards first down. It's not too shabby.
Giants did a good job of keeping him bounds, of making him use one of their timeouts. Now the first down, they're in field goal range.
And they have 1 timeout remaining. 23 seconds.
There it is. Oakland needs to win. They win. They don't have to worry about any other game. They can do it themselves. They will be in the playoffs at home, whether they be the wild card team or the division champions.
San Diego, of course, they host Pittsburgh. They're watching this ball game. They cheered for Denver last week. They're cheering for the Giants today.
You better get rid of it.
Good scramble. Now go out of bounds. Does stops the clock. 14 seconds. You're right, though. He should have thrown it away earlier. He lost 5 or 6 seconds. precious seconds.
Right now, it's important because you're looking at 14 seconds with 1 timeout remaining. Now, if they run this play and they're not out of bounds, they have to call timeout. And if they don't have enough to get their field goal kicker in range, then they're in trouble.
Let's see, they're at the 31-yard line. He'd be kicking for the 38. That's about 48 yards away. Chris Barr's longest of the year is 48. Remember, he tried the one earlier from 52, and he was 4 yards short.
The Giants defensive backs are given a lot of room, so they should be able to throw in front.
Pressure, good scramble, pass is dropped. It wasn't that good a pass. It was catchable, but it was a good scramble by the youngster.
Cliff Branch has dropped a couple of them today, and that's not like him because that ball was there. There's 8 seconds remaining in this first half. It wasn't a picture pass, but he was scrambling, trying to move around and survive back there. He did get the ball to him.
Ira Matthews comes in, Whittington comes out. That's the play from the bench. 3rd down and 7, 8 seconds. Time for one more play if they don't have the first down, or if they do, go to the field goal.
One more play is it. And they've got a kick. Got a man open over there at the sidelines. Get it.
Out of bounds
1 second.
with 1 second, and then it ticked over. When we looked up as he crossed the sideline, there was 1 second, but the clock was moving, and it just ticked over. That is the end of the first half. With the score, the Oakland Raiders 20 and the New York Giants 10. It is halftime. With the score, Oakland 20 and the New York Giants 10 on a very cold afternoon. And now let's go to Brian Gumbel.
Can get a win today, they will assure themselves of a playoff berth. They may not be the AFC Western champions. That's in part dependent on what the Chargers do tomorrow night, but they will definitely be in the playoffs. They're out in front by a score of 20-10 at the half. Been a long year for Ray Perkins' crew. They're 4-11. It became even longer early on in the ball game when a punt was blocked. Dave Jennings had this one blocked, and it set up a field goal on the part of the Raiders. Then Oakland's Arthur Whittington, 7-yard run for a touchdown. Just like that, the Raiders were in front by a score of 10-0. With Phil Simms sidelined, Scott Bruner is the man doing the quarterbacking for the Giants, and he has had his problems, as this play indicates. Not much explanation needed. Been that kind of a day for the Giants. By contrast, Jim Plunkett been having himself a fine afternoon. 31-yard touchdown strike to Cliff Branch here. Moved the Raiders in front 17-3. Towards the end of the first half, Plunkett was forced to the sidelines, and Mark Wilson came in relief. And as the first half ended, Bruner threw a touchdown pass to bring the Giants close. It's 20-10 at intermission.
Lynn, can the New York Giants come from behind now and upset the Oakland Raiders?
Yeah, they definitely can. I think the touchdown that they scored there late in the first half with 40 seconds remaining was a big lift to this football team. But they're going to have to come out and play a very aggressive type of game. They've got to take some chances because Oakland wants this ball game very badly because they are popping out there pretty good. And Oakland has had some breaks in the first half. They turned the ball over 3 times in the first quarter alone. So Oakland has had opportunities. They've moved the football. The Giants have got to come out. They've got to put the ball in the air. If they're going to beat Oakland, they're going to have to throw the football.
My impression from the Oakland Raiders, their defense has played better than their offense in the first half.
Well, I think that's true, that they really never got on track offensively, although they did have one drive that they moved the football. But they have gotten on the board. Plunkett got off to a kind of a slow start, but he came around and played better. Now, there's a big question mark. What about Plunkett? Is he going to be able to play in the second half? He left just before the half was over because of an injury. Mark Wilson, the young quarterback, came in. But without Plunkett, and I think the experience is what Oakland needs right now in this tough situation, they could be in trouble.
Now, from the New York Giants standpoint, what is your impression of their rookie quarterback, Bruner?
You know, when you go back and you start your motion to throw the ball downfield and it drops at your feet, it's kind of embarrassing. But this young man, I thought later on in the second quarter started to regain some confidence. The pass that he threw to his fullback for the score was an excellent throw. It had a lot of zip on it, and the timing was great in delivering the football. He had some problems earlier, But maybe with that touchdown, he'll regain some confidence that he's going to need.
All right, what do you look forward to in the second half?
Well, I think that you're going to try to look at the New York Giants putting the ball in the air. They're going to have to throw the football. They have had success, particularly throwing underneath, near where the linebackers are generally located.
Now, explain just a moment. Because we always talk about throwing underneath. Now explain, because somebody, some people may not understand.
All right, the linebackers, when they see pass or they read pass, they're told get back to a certain area, and they'll do that rather quickly. And they'll get back in that area and then start locating receivers. Well, when they get back about 15 or 18 yards deep, it's tough to throw behind them. So you throw in front of them, throw it primarily to your tight ends and to your backs, and make those linebackers and defensive backs make open field tackles. A lot of times they'll do it, but sometimes if they miss a tackle, it could be a big gain, maybe even a touchdown.
All right, now, we mentioned the fact that Jim Plunkett was injured late in the first half. The extent of the injury, we do not know. He is loosening up. He came limping off the field. He called a timeout, and we will have a report from the sideline on exactly what his situation is. And the way that Jim is loosening up, it looks to all intents and purposes that he is all right, and that, Lynn, he will be starting the second half.
Charlie, this is it. This is the season for the Oakland Raiders. There are possibilities for them to get into the playoffs if they lose this football game today, but you never want that. You want to be able to determine your own destiny in a football season, and they have that opportunity right now. They're enjoying a 10-point lead. They're going to get the football starting the second half. Now, I think this first drive is going to be indicative of what might be taking place in this football game. If the Giants really want to play some football, they're going to come out on this kickoff and try to go after the Oakland Raiders. And the same is true for Oakland.
Joe Danello will be kicking off. Ira Matthews and Keith Moody are the deep backs. The contenders as we start our action today. There are 7: Oakland, San Diego, Cleveland, Houston, New England, Pittsburgh, and Buffalo. But only 5 will make the playoffs. 2 will fall by the wayside. And who will they be? Taken at the 14-yard line by Keith Moody. And he is down around the 28, so he'll have about 14 yards on the return. And Don Patterson makes the tackle. Now, Patterson has been playing defensive left cornerback in place of Mark Haynes, the rookie #1 draft choice, out with a bruised knee very early in the game. And Kevin Turner for the Giants has been at defensive outside left linebacker, replacing Brad Van Pelt, who was out very early in the game with an injury.
And you have Van Pelt. When he's out of there, that really hurts that defensive team of the New York Giants, because he is the only one there that isn't a free agent. They've had so many injuries. Van Pelt has been holding that defensive linebacking core together.
Plunkett is the quarterback, and he gives to Mark Van Egan from the Oakland 28 to the Oakland 33, a quick 5 yards. Urban Wyatt makes the tackle. It will be second down and 5.
Might also add that Big Art Shell back in the ball game. He left in the first half to go inside and get a finger x-ray, but he's back in that left tackle position.
Kenny King, bothered by an ankle injury, has not seen any action. Biff Branch and Bob Chandler, the wide receivers. Chester's the tight end. Van Egan, first down. 44-yard line, a gain of 11, first down. That offensive line: Art Shell, Gene Upshaw, Dave Dalby, Mickey Marvin, and Henry Lawrence. Raiders come out smoking in the second half.
Yes, they do. They're going right to the ground. I'm sure that Plunkett is still smarting a little bit. You know, you don't leave a football game unless you're hurt. Probably wants to try to establish something on the ground, maintain possession of that football for a while, keep it away from the Giants.
Mark Van Egan, 49-yard line, so it is just 5 at a clip as the Raiders are rolling. Urban Wyatt and Gary Jeter with the tackle. 3-man front for the Giants is George Martin, Phil Tabor, and Gary Jeter. Linebackers are Turner, Wyatt, McLaughlin, and Whittington. Secondary: Patterson and Felton on the corners, Reese and Wolford at the safety. Van Egan now 58 yards rushing, is a 5.8-yard average. Chandler all alone. They give him a lot of room. He's knocked down around the 41-yard line. He's got the first down.
Chandler has caught about 3 or 4 of those little sideline or hitch patterns. And what is happening, Don Patterson, the cornerback, is giving him a lot of room out there. So it's man-to-man coverage. Just get the football out. You can see when he made the reception, Patterson was still a couple of yards away. Chandler now has 5 receptions for 57 yards.
And the first down, 41-yard line. Van Eegen is stopped at the line of scrimmage. The free agent from Notre Dame, Mike Whittington, makes the tackle. Outside linebacker. 2nd and 9. Let's look at the halftime statistic.
The first down is very close. Total yardage, not that much apart, 161 to 138 for the Raiders. Turnovers. That is the name of the game right there. 3 turnovers by
Plus
the Giants.
A blocked punt. 3 turnovers and a blocked punt. Ted Hendricks got it, 11-yard line, 2 plays there, scored. That's good. 2nd and 9. Branch in motion. Up the middle is Van Eegen. He can go all the way. He's caught him at the 6-yard line. 33 yards. It'll be 1st and goal to go.
I don't think Van Egen's run that far in a long time. But here it is, Plunkett handing off to a draw play. They had a safety blitz, as you can see right there. Wolford, 20 as a safety. Now that means no one is in the middle. He's the safety man, and ordinarily on a passing situation, if somebody comes up there, he's there to make the stop. But he was blitzing on the occasion. For Oakland, they made the right call at the right time. And for the Giants, it was just the opposite.
Van Eegen, as you saw now, with 92 yards rushing. 1st and goal to go. Whittington bouncing off the tackle. Kevin Turner finally stopped him about the 4-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and goal to go. Going back to that run of Van Eegen, one thing that I noticed, when Cliff Branch, number 21, goes in motion, he really goes in motion. He, usually they jog out in motion. He takes off like a 9-3 sprinter, which he is.
Well, that's what you should do because you want movement in the secondary. Oakland, for example, if Lester Hayes' man goes in motion, he'll follow him all the way across the field. You want to create some motion in that secondary.
Derek Ramsey in, 2 tight ends. Van Eegen and Jensen are the running back. Van Eegen just inside the 2-yard line where he's pushed back. Giants claim a fumble, but the play had been blown dead. It'll be 3rd down and goal to go.
Marvin's brother,
right?
Gene Upshaw, he's the peacemaker out there. Yeah.
You know what he's doing? He's creating the problem at the bottom of the pile, and then he gets up top and he's separating everybody.
You can see the Giants thought that there was a loose ball, was a fumble.
3rd down, goal to go. Van Eegen, he's out to give. And Chris Barr will come in with a field goal attempt, I'm sure. I am anticipating Tom Flores. Barr walked down. Flores said no. And he sends in Whittington. Interesting call.
10-point lead.
Van Eegen in the second half is 54 yards and 7 carries. You would expect Van Eegen to get the call here.
Well, you got Whittington with real good speed. They're going to give it to him, hope to get outside.
He races to the corner. He does not make it. 1-yard line. The Giants hold and they take over. The Raiders move 71 yards with a drive, but they needed 72.
Yes, it was number 22, Eric Felton, the quarterback that ran him out of bounds. They were looking to go inside. He jumped outside. It was a foot race, and that time, Whittington did not win it like he did in the first half.
We've got a timeout. We'll be back in a moment. The Giants have the ball. Here's another look.
63, Upshaw was upended. He was not able to get out in front of Whittington. And he's being pushed out of bounds by 22 Felton, and you can see that Whittington was not too happy about that. He wasn't able to turn up, get inside. But it wasn't that bad a call because the Giants are on the 1-yard line right now.
That's a great shot, though.
99 yards to go.
Raiders used up 5:41 on the clock. Billy Taylor, he gets a couple of yards. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
I'm sure Flores was thinking, well, even if we do not get in, our defense is strong enough. We keep back there and we get the ball back, still in excellent field position.
I just happen to be a great believer that 3 points is 3 points is 3 points is 3 points, and they add up.
That's true.
2nd and 8.
This is a big series for the Giants. If they can get out of trouble here, it'd be a big lift to them. And they're out of it.
Close to the 1st down, Leon Perry, who scored the touchdown. Well, pick up the 1st down. We'll have a measurement.
I say it's a big situation for the Giants because they're backed up on the 1-yard line. If they can get out, and Perry had a big gapping hole there, looks like it's a 1st down for the New York Giants. Yes, it is. This is an emotional game, a mental game. If you have somebody backed up on the 1-yard line and you let them out, you let them escape, it can be a factor in the ball game emotionally. And seeing as this New York Giant team is a young football team, they need all the emotions they can get.
Just outside their own 11-yard line, 1st down.
Oh, good play.
Reggie Kinlaw. Billy Taylor, the ball carrier.
Kinlaw was in there. Taylor didn't have a chance. He was 4 yards deep in that backfield.
Loss of 3. It'll be 2nd and 13. Billy Taylor now has a total of 40 yards and 13 carries.
What the Giants did not want, it was that, a loss on a running play, because now it's putting them in a situation where they're going to have to throw the football, draw, or string it.
They come back with Billy Taylor. He gets the loss back. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
You asked me what the Giants have to do. I said they have to throw the football. They've got to move it to, take some chances. Down here, this includes down here, a 3rd and 10 situation right now on an 11-yard line. They're going to have to put that football in the air.
Scott Bruder, the quarterback. Taylor and Perry, the running back. Ernest Gray, Danny Pittman, the wide receiver. Shirks, the tight end. Vincent Simmons, Black, Turner, and King on offensive line. 3rd down and 10. As pressure rolls out of it, goes to the 14-yard line, so he picks up about 3 yards. But all that does is give Dave Jennings a little more room to kick.
Well, that time, even though this...
And a Raider player shaken up.
Davis.
While we check that out, let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
The Horn of Africa famine on News Conference, 6:30 on KNBC, Los Angeles.
This is Charlie Jones, Lynn Dawson. Mike Davis is the injured player. We're in the 3rd quarter with 6:41 left to go. It is Oakland 20 and the New York Giants 10. Oakland led 10-0 at the end of the 1st quarter. They tied 10-10 the 2nd quarter. We've got an injury timeout, so we'll take a timeout. We'll be back with Dave Jennings punting in just a moment. Mike Davis is covering the sideline. We'll have a report on his injury. Dave Jennings will be kicking to Ira Matthews. Pressure. He gets it off. He's had 1 block today. Taken at the 43-yard line in Raider territory. 7 yards on the return to the 50-yard line. The punt covered 39 yards. So Oakland will go to work at the 50, where they have a 1st down. Now we go back to the field goal they did not attempt. They gave up the ball at the 1. They held, gave up first down. The kick, now they've got it at 50, excellent field position. That's what you were talking about.
That's what I was referring to. You know, they're taking a chance. They could put the ball game away. They're up by 10 points. They get 3 points, and it's a 13-point lead, but if they get a touchdown, they could put it away, and that's what Tom Flory was thinking about.
Dave Jennings has been averaging just over 25 yards a punt. That's about 20 yards under his average. Whittington on the receiving end, 42-yard line, a gain of 8. It'll be second down as soon as Mike Whittington makes the tackle. Arthur Whittington for the Oakland Raiders, number 22. The linebacker and free agent from Notre Dame, number 58, Mike Whittington of the Giants.
Apparently Plunkett is all right because he had a play action move there where he had to do some spinning, and I think it was his knee that was a problem when they left in the first half. Good news for Oakland.
Grant wide, far side, Grant on the side. Gary Jeter.
He took an inside rush on that and just flew past that offensive line of the Oakland Raiders. Plunkett, 16, didn't have a chance. That 70 is Jeter took an inside move on Art Shell, number 78. As Art looks back and wonders where he went. Where he went was to greet Mr. Jim Plunkett.
They're down at 7, loss of 5. The Giants have 3 sacks. Jeter now leading the Giants with 10. 3rd and 7. Van Egan incomplete. And so Ray Guy will come in to kick. It'll be 4th down and 7 at the New York 47-yard line.
Credit that New York Giant defense for doing really a good job on that series against the Oakland Raiders. The time before, they marched right down the field after the kickoff, ended up on the 1-yard line. But that time, Giants shut them out.
Beasley Reese is getting set for the return. Guy has kicked once for 21 yards. Of course, in that point in the first half, he was going for the sideline.
No one back.
Where did Reese go? He was back a moment ago. Then he came up. Bad snap. Guy's going for it. He had no choice. Line of scrimmage. Giants take over on their own 48-yard line.
Things are changing around. All of a sudden, the Giants get a break. The defense holds, and a bad snap to Ray Guy was unable to get the kickoff. They're almost at midfield. Good field position for the New York Giants.
The Giants have the football, and we've got a timeout. 5 minutes left to go in the 3rd. What an afternoon of football. Thanks for that update, Brian.
The Saints coming back.
Oh.
Matt Cavanaugh, 3 touchdown passes in that ball game for New England.
Now, can the Giants come back? 5 minutes to go in the 3rd. Oakland leading 20-10. They've led all the way. Play action. He wants to go deep, but it's double coverage and he throws it away. Smart play. I like that.
Well, he was. No one was open.
He was one man deep, and he had double coverage on it.
Well, I know he's looking for Ernest Gray. He was working man-to-man with Lester Hayes over on that left side of Oakland's defense, but Lester is with him stride for stride. Good play, you're right, because he avoided a loss. There wasn't anybody. He only had 2 receivers. He had the tight end as an outlet, and the tight end was covered, so he just threw it over his head.
That's what I meant.
That's what you meant.
Thank you. I'm learning. I'm learning. There he goes in motion. Billy Taylor. Taylor to about the 47-yard line of Oakland. It'll be 3rd down and still about 5 to go. He runs with abandon, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. 55, Matt Millen, inside linebacker. No one gets to him, so he's following the play. You have to take the proper angle of pursuit. And he does, and he greets him. But not before about 5 yards, picked up by Billy Taylor. That's a play where you really don't block the defensive end. Matuzak does not block. The back has to outrun him. You know you're in trouble when the back can't outrun the defensive end.
Yeah. You're in big trouble. 3rd down 5.
had
I don't know if we have that particular on the replay. I thought that Oakland was in the neutral zone. I thought they had a running start.
We see Ted Hedrick is up there.
Oh, just his body move. It was his upper body move that caught my eye.
Well,
That's a good call by the official.
6'7" or 6'8", you know.
That'll catch a lot of your eye.
The whole
won't it?
body moves all together.
I apologize to the officials. 4th down and 5.
I figured they'd start putting some pressure on this young quarterback and start blitzing. Only his 3rd start as a pro.
Jennings' 4th kick of the ball game, averaging just over 25 yards in the game. Coming into the game, averaging over 45 yards. That's a 20-yard difference. Ira Matthews, the return man at the 15.
Look at the Storks going up
Low
there again.
snap, he wants to run for it. With the low snap and the pressure, he had no choice. We've had one on each side. Now, Jennings is a superb athlete. He's an outstanding basketball player. But he really wanted to kick it, though, didn't he?
He sure did. I think he did. Now, he had to go down after this ball. When he looked up, Ted Hedrick was right in his face.
Yeah.
The man that's going to make the tackle is 56, Jeff Barnes. But Ted was right up the middle.
And we've got a timeout. We'll be back in a moment. Oakland has the ball. Giant 40-yard line. Thank you, Brian. In Cleveland, they say this year it'll be the Cyper Bowl. And it could, but boy, they have their work cut out this afternoon.
They're tied up. Kansas City and Baltimore's all tied 21-21 too. So that's a 2-tie ball game.
Plunkett to throw. Green, right side. Van Eagle. He salvages about 3 yards on the play. Phil Tabor makes the tackle at the 37-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 7. You got other scores there?
Yes, sir, I do. I said Kansas City, Baltimore tied. We'll take a look at this screen pass. Cleveland, Cincinnati, of course, tied 17-17. New England leading New Orleans 24-20 in the 3rd period. In a very important ball game, needless to say, for New England.
That was Van Egan's first reception of the ball game. 2nd down and 7. In fact, that was only the 29th reception of the year for Van Egan. 5 receivers in the pattern, knocking a good defensive play. Van Egan coming out of the backfield, and the free agent rookie from Maryland, Urban Wyatt, knocked it away.
Maybe that time you saw that Van Egan moved up next to the quarterback, because I think what was happening, Plunkett was checking off. He was anticipating a blitz. The blitz did not come, so Van Egan checked his linebacker. He didn't come, so he went out in the pattern. But you're right, it's a good play by Wyatt. Detroit is leading Green Bay 10-3. Minnesota's ahead of Houston 13-10. That's the 3rd period. And Washington 21, St. Louis nothing in the 2nd period.
Redskins finishing strong. Going deep, tight end Chester has a touchdown. Flag was dropped at the 37-yard line. So if you're a Raider fan, hold your cheering. A Giant fan, hold your breath.
Raymond Chester made an excellent move on Beasley Reese. He was wide open. It was a good throw by Plunkett. It'll go against the Giants. It'll be 6 points.
And Raymond Chester has the touchdown, his 4th of the year. Play covering 37 yards, a 40-yard drive in 3 plays.
Taking a look right now, wide open. Good throw by Plunkett. An excellent reception by Raymond Chester. He has been doing that for a lot of years, that man right there, number 88. Used to do it with Blanda throwing with the football. Georges gets back, take 3 or 4 steps to fire it. Raymond Chester go get it.
That makes it 26-10. Bauer to attempt the extra point. And it is good. So Oakland now with a comfortable margin. They lead by 17 with 2:55 left to go. We're in the 3rd quarter as Chester scores.
Hi, Pete.
Maybe I wasn't too far wrong. It could be a Cyber Bowl.
You know, last week after Minnesota beat Cleveland, I was talking to Sam Bertigliano, and he says, you know, we have a flair for the dramatic anyway. We would like to win it all in Cincinnati.
Reese fields it at the 14-yard line. 20, 25, around the 29-yard line, maybe the 30, about 15 yards on the return. We had a flag drop back at the 28-yard line.
Return by Reese Bradshaw. On track.
Offsides open by the field judge, 245.
Offsides. Keep the ball.
Offside. Offside, number 46 on the kicking team. Penalty decline. Offside, 46 on the kicking team. Penalty decline. First down.
Todd Christensen got a running start at him, didn't he?
He also got mentioned twice. If you missed it the first time, we're going to tell you again. Number 46, Todd Christensen was offside.
Giants ball their own 30-yard line. They need to get something going right now. Leon Perry, there's a fumble, but the play had been blown dead at the 33. It'll be second down and 7.
By Perry.
Taking a look when he tripped over his own man right there. Number 60 was Brad Benson, offensive left tackle. The ball does squirt loose, but you do have that synthetic turf rule, which Mr. Jones will explain.
I'll be happy to explain it. Leon Perry around the corner. First down. 50-yard line. 17 yards. And a first down. You talk about this play, then I'll explain the rule.
Well, this young man is running very, very well today. You know, he's the one that caught the touchdown pass in the first half. You see somebody is down on the, looks like an Oakland Raider.
9 carries, 59 yards rushing.
But he's been running very hard. You know,
Yep.
he just explodes through there.
Here are some scores.
We are still not sure who the injured Raider player is.
Kansas City, 21. Baltimore, 21.
The rule that Lynn was alluding to is that in the artificial surface is that you carry the balls, and because the surface is so hard, when that elbow hits, ball jars loose. As soon as that elbow hits and you have possession, at that point in time, then the ball is dead. That's the reason you have a lot of, on the artificial, balls popping loose and already been blown dead. Now, also notice that number 36, Mike Davis, who was
Yes.
shaken up earlier, is back in the lineup.
Well, he came in when they went out on defense.
And we did not. This is
Osteen.
Dwayne Osteen, right cornerback. And Monty Jackson has replaced him. First down, New York, 50-yard line. 1 minute and 54 seconds left to go. Third quarter. Oakland with a comfortable 17-point lead. Gray, the wide receiver, far side, 2 tight ends. The pitch is dribbled and then picked up by Leon Perry. I mean, that's about all that he could do is get back to line of scrimmage. Check the scoreboard.
Big day, Cleveland. Cincinnati, it says tied 17-17, but I do believe that Cleveland has gone ahead now. I think they're ahead by 7 points. Minnesota leading Houston, another very...
No, wait a minute. That's too big of a thing. Oh, latest in is 17-17. That was a side. I guess we messed that up.
Type the feature. All right. I was trying to give Cleveland 7 more points. It didn't work. New England's ahead of New Orleans. Detroit leading Green Bay 17-3 in the fourth quarter.
Leon Perry. Football. Oakland has the ball. That is the 4th turnover by the Giants, plus a block punt.
That had nothing to do with the synthetic turf. He was just popped out there, and that ball was shaken loose. Here it is.
That was a good hit by the Raider defense.
Burgess Owens, 44, was in there. Was one of the players that hit him. There were 2 men that hit him at the same time.
And for Rod Martin, that is his 2nd fumble recovery of the ball game. So Oakland has the ball on their own 34-yard line. First down. The Raiders with 5 ball players named to the Pro Bowl. Art Shell the 8th time, Ray Guy the 7th time, Chet Hendricks the 5th time, Kenny King the 1st time, and Lester Hayes the 1st time. Whittington outside. Has a couple of yards to the 37. 2nd down and 8. In first downs, Oakland is 15. The Giants have 14.
All right, I gave him 7 points.
Way to go, Leonard.
It's 24-17.
Yeah.
Cleveland is leading. They were behind, I believe, 10-0 at one point in that football game.
That's also correct.
All right, Sipe the feature. He's thrown 2 touchdown passes to feature.
2nd and 8, Plunkett to throw. Whittington, it's incomplete. It's the ground.
Nothing on it. Nothing on it. Whittington was wide open.
3rd down and 8. For the Giants, their punter, Dave Jennings, selected to the Pro Bowl for the 3rd time, and linebacker Brad Van Pelt selected to the Pro Bowl for the 5th time.
And might add that Van Pelt is not playing because he was injured early in this
first
ball
series.
game, and has not returned to action and will not return to action today.
Well, it was a bruised arm. And also, Mark Haynes out with a bruised knee. 5 men in the secondary on a 3rd and 8. Plunkett throws. Plunkett had a great head fake, and then he threw left. I'm not sure if Cliff Branch, the intended receiver, picked up the ball.
He did not. He didn't see it because I think Cliff might have had an opportunity to come up with a catch. I think he was very surprised to see the ball zooming by him.
What happens in that situation?
Well, every receiver should anticipate catching the football. Now, Cliff Branch should have been thinking that he was the primary receiver. This is what he should have been thinking, because he did make an out move, but he didn't get his head turned around quick enough to locate the football.
Ray Guy to kick. Reese with the return. 35 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter. Fielded at the 28-yard line. And Reese is fielded at that spot also. There'll be no return. And the Giants will take over. Clock stops at 26 seconds on the change of possession. The punt covering 36 yards. We've not had great yardage on the kicks. Is that also because of what you talked about in the first half, the ball being hard and cold?
It does hit, yes, it is. It's not going to go as far as it would if it were a warm day. But
it's got to hurt your foot, too, doesn't it?
Well, I don't know about that. What about the kickers that don't wear shoes? It's got to hurt their feet with weather like this. We were talking about 2 of the best punters in the National Football League coming in. What is Jennings average? About 25 yards a kick.
Leon Perry. Perry has close to 5 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 5. And the Giants may just be content to let the clock run down. So we will put 3 of them in the book. Remember, the Oakland Raiders now only 1 quarter away from making the playoffs. Into the 3rd, the score is Oakland 27, New York 10. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station. Happy holidays, everybody. This is Charlie Jones, Lynn Dawson, and there's Christmas in the air. And the Giants have a 2nd and 5. Their own 33-yard line. Peter, he'll lose a couple of yards. Now, strange things are happening everywhere today. Let's go to Brian to find out about it.
All right, Charlie,
Brian, I tell you, this is one wild finish. Wild card game is next Sunday. I'm not sure they'll figure it out by next Sunday who the 2 to be there are. No, they'll have it all sorted out by Monday night after the San Diego-Pittsburgh game. Tip, intercepted. Lester Hayes, no. Oh, I thought he had tied the record.
He did too. He did too. Look at it.
Oh, Lester, that would have been your 14th. It would have been you and Night Train.
You know about Night Train Lane, buddy. As we take a look at this, the ball is going to be tipped up in the air. Lester has an opportunity to come up with it, I think. There it is. A high throw. The ball took off. Now he's looking at it. He thinks he has it. He's ready to run now, but he didn't quite get a hold of the handle.
Dave Jennings to kick. Ira Matthews, 38-yard line, 40, 45, about 9, maybe 10 yards on the return. That punt only 33 yards, 9-yard return. We have not had a good kicking exhibition here today. We've got a timeout, though, and we'll be back. Oakland leads. They're headed towards the playoffs. 13:59 left to go. The Raiders have the ball just outside their own 47. And Oakland has the lead 27-10. Mark Van Egan gets the call. And that should put him over the 100-yard mark. Is that right? Not over, right at it.
Nothing fancy, just straight ahead blocking by the Oakland Raiders, giving the ball to Van Egan. Didn't look like much of a play, but he picked up 5 yards.
It'll be second down and 5. Unofficially, we have him right at the 100-yard mark. Yes. Mind like a steel trap. Second and 5. They're working on the clock. Van Egan. I'm not sure if Mark Van Egan really gets the recognition that he deserves. Boy, he is the workhorse year in and year out for this Oakland Raider ball club that has had a winning record for 16 years. And Van Egan has been within the last 7 seasons.
Now, he's a very unselfish player also. And, you know, the yardage that he gets, he takes a terrific beating because he's banging straight ahead. He's getting hit by 3 and 4 defensive men every time he carries the football.
In a way, he reminds me of Pete Banaszak. Remember, you know, the early part of his career and that latter part of his career, he was just...
Banaszak isn't still playing?
He played forever, though.
They kept trying to cut him every year, and he ended up being a big part of the ball club.
And he always scored the touchdowns, too, from 2 yards out. The Oakland Raiders just using the clock now, 12:25 and counting.
Now that hurts. Landing on that synthetic turf with players on top of you, he's hurting right now.
Mark Van Egan at 6'2", 205 pounds.
First down.
He's going to come
Scoring
to the
5 touchdowns, all rushing. He comes out for a moment. Arthur Whittington comes in.
104th consecutive game. These Oakland Raider football players, they don't miss any games. 202 for Upshaw.
And he started them all. It's a first down. Whittington. Gibson playing the first block. But the Giants play it very well as they string Whittington out, and he simply just runs out of room.
Yeah, Beasley Reese, the safety, really played that well. Kept stringing it out, and eventually pushed him out of bounds.
Loss of a couple. It'll be second down and 12.
You're looking at 11 minutes, 43 seconds remaining in this football game. I'm sure with a 17-point lead, Tom Flores would like to have his Oakland Raiders keep that ball on the ground and utilize some of that clock. But they're in a situation they got to throw pretty soon.
Interestingly enough, at this point of the ball game, Oakland has had the football only a couple of minutes more than the Giants, about 23 and a half to 25 and a half minutes. Pass is complete to Bob Chandler. He's got the first down, and the clock moves, 11:30 and counting.
He has been able to run patterns in front of Don Patterson, the defensive left cornerback, all afternoon, really. He dropped one, but he's caught, I think, 6 passes that I can recall. Most of them have been that type of pattern.
That's right. 6 receptions, 71 yards.
The sideline patterns in front of the defensive back.
First down, 27-yard line. Van Egan's back in there, fumbles it. Giants have it. Kevin Turner, number 66, we believe, recovered the fumble.
Fumble recovered.
And that is the first turnover by the Oakland Raiders. Turnovers are 4-1 plus, and And don't forget it, the block punt by Ted Hendricks. 11-yard line, and they scored very quickly, 2 plays.
And they were in field goal range. As you take a look, Van Egan with the football is going to get it jarred loose right there. I think more than anything else, because that ball was so slick, is why it came out of his arms.
We've got a timeout. We'll be back in a moment. This is Charlie Jones, Lynn Dawson. Giants have the ball. Got Brenner to throw. Far side, pass is complete. Danny Pittman has it. 19 yards on the play.
Slot formation by the Giants. 2 wide receivers on the same side. Lester Hayes is playing a zone. See, he lets his man go. Gray. It goes right over his head into the arms of Pittman for a reception and a first down. You know, I was talking about Night Train Lane,
Yes.
who has 14 interceptions, leads the National Football League in that category.
He did that in 12 games, just by the way. That's all right.
Lester has 13 as of right now.
Yeah.
I got a story I want to tell you about that.
All right, I'll let you work it in after this play. Brenner has the man. He's there. Tip incomplete. Lester Hayes. Hey, now tie it in. Lester almost did it.
Buddy Parker was the coach when I was a rookie, and we were playing Detroit, where Night Train played for. And in the game plans, he said, by the way, do not throw the ball on that side of the field. I said, why? Because don't throw it. Their Night Train Lane is over there. Well, like so many quarterbacks, I didn't listen all the time. I happened to throw one over there. Night Train zipped in, picked it off, and went the rest of the way for a touchdown. Buddy says, now you understand why you don't throw the ball over there.
I love it. Brenner has completed 10 of 19. 96 yards. He gets to Leon Perry. Has an interception and touchdown pass.
Is there somebody by the name of Lou on this team, too? You know, we did these people are saying...
San Diego with Louis Kelson. No, there is no.
Well, this one starts with a B.
These, they want the Giants to throw the ball. I want them to throw it, too. I don't think they can do it on the ground.
No, they can't.
Not now. It's too late. You know, 9.5 minutes. You got to strike through the air quickly, like you did.
At least it gives you a chance.
Yes. As a surgeon, you had to take the scalpel, the long pass, and dissect the defense.
There it is.
And there it is. And then hit and fumble. Picked up. Dropped. Oakley comes up with the football. Otis McKinney has the football for the Raiders. 5 turnovers. Unbelievable.
There are several people who had the opportunity of this ball. It's popping around. As you can see right now, I think it's Perry 30 had an opportunity. He wanted to run with it. McKinney does come up with it. Another turnover for the Oakland Raiders. It's a good throw, though.
The Giants have turned the ball over 5 times. The Raiders lead by 17. Let's take another look.
Yeah, it's a good throw by Scott Brunner to Pittman, 82. But watch Burgess Owens come in right there. Number 44, formerly of the New York Jets. He created that fumble.
Oakland with the ball on their own 46-yard line. Mark Van Egan, 48-yard line. A gain of 6 in New York territory.
They get the ball right back to Van Egan. The last time he had it, he fumbled. That's the confidence they have in that pullback. Plus the fact, you know, they say forget about that because you can't do anything about what happened on that last play. We're going to give you the ball again this time. Only this time put 2 arms around the ball.
18 carries, 115 yards. Mark Van Egan. 2nd down and 4. 8.5 minutes left to go. Derek Jensen. And he is stopped shy of the 45-yard line. It'll be 3rd down. About 1.5 yards to go for the first down.
By the way, did we mention that New England has gone out in front of New Orleans? Calhoun, running back, 22 yards out, scored a touchdown. It is now 31-27. New England leading New Orleans. Over 10 minutes to go in that ball game when that happened.
And do you know that Brian Gubble is sitting there with NFL 80, and they've got 17 calculators and computers, and everything is switching back and forth. Derek Jensen. And he does not pick up the first down. It'll be 4th and maybe a yard, as Phil Tabor was there. And of course, stay with us. NFL report following the ball game, and Ryan will try and sort it all out.
Throw the ball.
Good
to
luck,
Ryan.
Ryan. Yeah, the ball is in your court. Is that what they say? Oh.
Ball stop.
Ray Guy to kick. And nobody's back. They're going to rush 11 men. Had a couple of bad snaps. This is a good one. High, a little wobbly, a lot of pressure.
He booms that one.
Boy, he sailed that one, didn't he? It'll go in the books as a 45-yard kick. That's his best kick, the best kick that we've seen today, really.
Well,
He had good pressure.
You know that if he gets his foot on it, it's going to be a good kick.
We've got a timeout. It's Oakland 27 and the New York Giants 10. 6:44 left. This is Charlie Jones, and I think Lynn Dawson's got a surprise with the look on your face.
No, it's not really.
Oh,
Detroit's leading Green Bay 24-3. I was just looking, see if my old friend Stenrud, he kicked the 33-yard field goal.
Oh, I thought one of the games had turned around again.
I got your plane reservation, Charlie. Got those confirmed.
Pass is complete to Tom Mulledy, tight end. Line of scrimmage at the 20-yard line. Play will move out to the 26.
Number 83, Ted Hendricks, 6'7". That's his man. He's going to let him know that he's been around. He's trying to tear his head off. But he makes the reception. It's good for 6 yards.
Ted's in his 12th year. This may be his finest year.
Well, today he blocked a punt. He created a fumble, 2 plays that thinking back from memory, that he has created out there. It was applied pressure on the quarterback, and he didn't make the sack, but he was the first one to him.
2nd and 4. Billy Taylor, 29-yard line. Gain of 3, so it'll be 3rd down and 1. We have 6:25 and counting. Time remaining. So it looks at this point, Oakland's in the playoff. They're up by 17. 6:09. They're playing better than the Giants are. I got to say they're in the playoff.
You're really going out on a limb, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. Well, I noticed you didn't join me, didn't you?
Well, of course.
First down, New York. Leon Ferry picks up the first down. So now, in the AFC West, we can look to the game tomorrow night between San Diego and Pittsburgh. If San Diego wins, then San Diego, the champions, Oakland will be a wild card, and I believe will play as a wild card play at home. Also, if San Diego loses, then Oakland is champion. San Diego's in their wild card scramble, and you've got some information on another score. This time I know.
It is. Cleveland, Cincinnati tied now, 24-24.
Almost intercepted. Wayne Osteen almost picked it up. What was that again?
Cleveland, Cincinnati all tied 24-24. Remember they had a report that Pat McAnally was injured.
Yep.
He's well because he caught a 59-yard touchdown pass from Jack Thompson.
He was taken off on a stretcher.
Something like that, yes.
That's what Bradshaw always did at Pittsburgh?
Wanted to see how the fans
He went off 3 or 4 times and come back and kill you. I like Jerry. Boy, what a competitor he is. 2nd and 10. Taylor to the 42, maybe the 43. It'll be a first down. Thank you, Brian. Oh! Should have been caught by Ernest Gregg.
I think what happened, if anything, his vision was impaired because there was an Oakland Raider defensive man running in front of the ball, but it hit him right in the stomach.
It did. That could be embarrassing.
Scores, Charlie.
All right.
Minnesota 16, Houston 13. 9 minutes more, 9 minutes remaining in the fourth period.
Ooh. What a finish, you know, this whole weekend.
Wait a minute here. Wait a minute.
Well, that does stop the clock with 4:24 left to go. I'm trying to figure in my mind right now, you know, with Houston losing and what's going on with New England and with the game tomorrow night, and now with the tie with Cleveland and a tie, you know, and all the things that we talk about, everybody forgets that, you know, you can play overtime and then end up with a tie.
False start.
You know, that
12.
throws another little wrinkle into the works.
You're trying to make it. You had 113 different ones on your computer.
113
Now
variations.
you're trying to make it about 120.
No, I still go back to what Tom Landry said. Play the last game of the season. If Pete Rozelle calls me the next day, I'm in the playoffs. Pass is complete to Leon Perry. Perry to the 41-yard line. AFC, these are the contenders. But there are only 5 spots. So 2 will fall by the wayside.
Houston is behind. Cleveland is tied. New England just took the lead.
Buffalo plays later. Pittsburgh plays tomorrow night. San Diego plays tomorrow night against Pittsburgh.
The only one feeling rather secure right now, I think, the team on top,
right,
the Oakland Raiders.
27-10, they lead the Giants with 3:40 and counting time remaining. Does not quite pick up the first down. Come about a yard short of the first down.
They have to go for it, even if they don't make it.
Oh, sure. The Giants finishing out a disappointing season. Their record will be 4-12. That's the bad news. The good news is that they'll have a high draft choice.
Well, I guess if you look at it, losing is losing. Somebody once told me that. But this Ray Perkins that you just saw a second ago, and they've got a rebuilding job to do. They got a young team. They were really besieged with injuries this year.
Oh, unbelievable. Bruner to throw. Pass is complete. Tight end, Gary Sherritt.
How about that? 4th down and a yard to go, and he puts the ball up in the air. But they ought to start motoring out there a little bit faster to get on the boards. 2:30 remaining in this ball game. Looks like they're trying to run out the clock.
Maybe they are. End of quote. It's been a long year. It has for me, too.
It's been a long night for you. It took you a while to get here.
It only took me 22 hours to get here. Casual flight. Spent a lot of time in the Denver airport. Incomplete. Pittman cannot hold on to it.
That's a good throw.
That was a
good throw. Good scrambling job trying to locate somebody downfield. It was a good throw on the move.
And the 2-minute warning will now be given with officially 1:55 left to go. We'll be back in a moment. This is Charlie Jones, Lynn Dawson with 1:55 left to go. We want to thank our NBC statistician, Steve Danson, our spotters today, Jerry Croak and Steve Mara. Thank you, gentlemen, for an outstanding job. Jim O'Gorman, stage manager, good to see you again. We've missed you. I know that tonight's show is very big, and Tom Snyder, the Tomorrow Show,